Hello and welcome back to Vedic Astrology. Today I am going to speak on the first house. What is the first house in your horoscope? The first house is the most important house in your horoscope because that is where your horoscope actually starts. It corresponds to your time of birth, which is where your life starts. If you alter your time of birth, the only thing that changes in your horoscope is just the Lagna. The Lagna keeps shifting each time you change your time of birth. The time of birth is so important just because only with that you will ever be able to find what is your ascendant. Once in every 2 hours, the ascendant changes. So within a day, because there are 24 hours, you will have 12 ascendants. But many people have often asked me, what exactly is this Lagna? Though I can see it actually in the horoscope, what is it? The easiest way to explain this is, you know that the sun rises on the eastern horizon, but it happens only at sunrise. So we call this the sunrise. Your Lagna is just a particular point in the zodiac that is rising when you were born. If you want to prove what I am saying, then you can observe the horoscope of a person who was born during sunrise. He will have the sun and the ascendant both in the same place. Because the sun is rising, whichever sign the sun is occupying is rising, and therefore his Lagna or the ascendant will also be the same sign in which the sun is in his horoscope. So that proves that the Lagna or the ascendant or the first house is just the rising sign. So this is the astronomical part. What is the astrological connection to the first house? The first house is connected to your birth. Whatever you get in birth is all connected to your first house. The first house means your physical body, and along with it, it deals with everything that you get because you're born. Everything about your life is actually contained within the Lagna itself, within the ascendant. From the ascendant, you count the rest of the houses. Where is Jupiter? Is it in the 5th house? Then you are actually counting only from Lagna. With respect to the first house or the ascendant, you count everything else. You discuss all other planetary influence only with reference to the first house. It deals with your health, your vitality, your body type, which is as per Ayurveda, you are a Kapha or a Pitta or a Vada type of person. So all that is understood only by studying the Lagna. If you want to know what is the ascendant is how the world looks at you. Whereas your moon sign is actually your mental nature, your mind, which is hidden. Each planet will give its result in accordance to its dignity. For example, if the sun is in the first house, if the sun is exalted in the horoscope, then sun in Lagna may be a very positive thing that happens to you. If the sun is in its own house and also in your ascendant, then it will be more of a positive sun. But take the opposite case, the sun is debilitated and still occupies Lagna. In such cases, you will see the negative side of sun more than the positive side of the sun. But remember that a planet has two sides of the same coin, the good and the bad. If Mars in Lagna is related to leadership, to courage, etc., good people possess this and bad people also possess this. So how do you know which side of the planet is actually working on that person? The policeman and the thief, both of them have a very well related or well connected Mars or a dominant Mars in their chart. That is why both of them are dealing with courage. Is it going to lead to good results or to bad results is known only by knowing the dignity of Mars. If Mars is afflicted and Mars is weak, then it will make the same person a thief, a terrorist. If Mars is positive if Mars is exalted, and if Mars is dignified, Mars is with good planets, Mars has caused a Raj Yoga, in that case the person would become a policeman, an able leader, a good politician. The first house also is indirectly connected to your marriage, your partnership. For example, a planet occupying Lagna can also cause or bring about marriage in a person's life during the dasha or the bhukti of the planet placed in the first house. Just because from the first house the planet looks at the seventh house. Whatever planet that influences the first house will give you that effect for a lifetime. For example, if the sun is in the first house, you know that the sun is a hot graha, and therefore you will get the heat part into yourself. You may be hot tempered because of that, or in Ayurvedic terms you might be a pitta body. Pitta means more of the acidic nature. The sun is related to the acidic part of us. When you have extraordinary light, it can blind you. So the sun in the first house usually works against the eyesight. If you really want to know what are the effects of each planet when it is occupying the first house or the Lagna, then you need to watch more of my videos. But in this video I am just going to tell you about the importance of the first house. But I'll give you the clue. Understand everything about the 9 planets. Only then you will be in a position to find out how it influences the first house. If one single planet occupies the first house, you get all of that quality, whatever that planet signifies, as the most dominant thing in your life. But let's say one more planet joins and another one joins. So 1 planet, 2 planet, 3 planet, 4 planet, they all get mixed up, and you are not this. Now you are not just one color. You are probably a mixture of 2 colors or 3 colors or 4 colors, making it very difficult for people to really understand what you are. But let's try to understand the effects of the grahas in the first house if they are alone. So I have already dealt with what happens if the sun is alone. Now let's go on to what happens if the moon is alone in the ascendant. The moon is not there on a particular day, and then after 15 days it is full, and then again it becomes smaller and smaller. So it is inconstant. It is wavering, it's changing. It represents the moods, the mood swings. People having the moon in the first house may be emotional, maybe more of the watery type or water type, and mood swings, ups and downs, and inconstant, or sometimes fickle-minded. It's not the moon a very beautiful thing in the sky. So most people having moon in the first house will attract people, because the moon attracts people. So moon is also having a lot to do with poets, artists. Let's say if Mars is alone in the ascendant. Mars is the warrior planet, the fighting planet, the planet of guts, of violence, of bravery, handling weapons, tools, more of the commanding nature, the commander-in-chief, the police, the army, and so on. So Mars in Lagna can make a person very bold, sometimes to the point of being over-dominating. In the same way, if Mercury is occupying the first house, Mercury denotes logic. Mercury deals with mathematics, calculations. In the modern world, it may mean computers, anything to do with the writing, the drawing. So all these things are possible when Mercury is in the first house. It can make a person very good at debating, and they have an extraordinary sense of wit. They can make jokes on the spot. Usually Mercury is more often linked to intelligence or intellect. The person having Mercury in the first house will be above average in intelligence. Then the next one is Jupiter. There's a subtle difference between Jupiter's intelligence versus Mercury's intelligence. Jupiter is more of the teaching part, and an expertise in a particular area. They can be they can be like a guru, a teacher, because guru means teacher, always wanting to guide people, always wanting to tell good things to people. So Jupiter means this finger, the index finger, so do's and don'ts, pointing, showing the way. So all these things can happen if Jupiter is in the first house. Such people would love to advise others. Then if Venus is in the first house, Venus represents all that which deals with entertainment, artistic pursuits, more of the enjoyment, the entertainment part. In modern world it can be cinema. So Venus in the first house can be, or Venus in the first house can also mean an obsession, or Venus in the first house may make you buy the costliest things. You want the costliest things, and you want something that is very attractive. Most of them by themselves are very attractive. They appear more like the celebrities. They buy, they want the topmost thing in anything, iPhones, or the big cars, the big names, something like that. They want to show off, or they would like to be the center of this. They would always love to be in the limelight. As soon as they get the opportunity, they grab the mic and want to be on stage, and they want the light to focus on them. So this is the typical Venus in the first house. And Saturn in the first house. Saturn represents slow. Saturn means is lame. So Saturn in the first house, people give lame excuses. They're slow, they procrastinate, they delay. Let me do it tomorrow, not today. Such things happen when Saturn occupies the first house. Saturn is the slowest graha, the slowest one of all the 9 planets in your horoscope. So when Saturn occupies the first house, it slows you down. It makes people think pessimistically. Saturn is usually the pessimistic, because Saturn is more of the darkness. When it is dark, we tend to become pessimistic. We think there is a ghost there, you can actually see the ghost, or it just appears to you. Fear takes over. So Saturn represents the fear factor. So sorrow, poverty, all the negative things, most of the negative things are related to Saturn. When it comes to Rahu and Ketu, you really can't handle it this way, because Rahu and Ketu are first of all not real grahas. They are just a mathematical point in the sky. But just because of that, that doesn't mean that they don't exist. They really exist. They have a great influence on your horoscope. But if you want to make it simple, you can say that Rahu is like Saturn and Ketu is like Mars. If Rahu is there in Lagna, again the same thing like whatever we told for Saturn. But how it changes is if some other planet is in along with Rahu. Rahu, being a shadow, takes on the light from the other planet and gets illuminated by that planet, and therefore will reflect the effect, or give the effect of the planet with whom it is in your horoscope. To some extent, it also gives the nature of the sign that it occupies.